Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Fadzlin binti Muhammad Jalaluddin. My number matrix is 1200756. Today, I would like to present a topic in Islamic finance, which is Mudaraba. Objective of the study: to know how to apply Mudaraba in Islamic finance according to Islamic law, and how wakalah of Mudaraba can help to solve the problem in Islamic finance. Before we go through to this discussion, we have to know what is Mudaraba. Mudaraba is a profit-sharing contract in which one party, that's called the Rab al-Ma'al, provides funds and the another, the managing trustee, the Mudarib or Amil, management expertise. A contractual relationship is executed between two parties, one supplying the capital, that is Rabbul Mal, and the another supplying the labor and skill as agent or manager, that's called Mudarib. This contract comes from the Arabic word darb, which means working and travelling on the earth. The Mudarabah also can known as Qirat. Classification of Mudarabah. The type of Mudarabah have two. There is unrestricted Mudarabah and restricted Mudarabah. Unrestricted Mudarabah is the capital handover to the Mudarib, which are determination of the type of work that is to be done, the time, the location, method of payment from client, whether it's cash or credit, and another else. Why? Restricted Mudarabah is the liability of the Mudaribin. Managing the venture is restricted in terms of kind, time, and place. Applicable law. Mudarabah can be applied in simple partnership, that is, one party comes with capital and another party comes with labor, and they participated profits according to the predetermined ratio. Second, investment account. Package of Mudarabah contract with a standard sharing ratio. Specific investment account, restricted Mudarabah contract with a negotiable profit sharing ratio. SIA funds are to be managed separately. Apply for a relatively big amount of investment. Next, Mudarabah also can be applied in letter of credit based on Mudarabah. The client who needs letter of credit for purchasing or importing goods informs banks of his letter credit requirements and negotiates terms and conditions. And finally, Mudarabah also can be applied in Mudarabahin Takaful model. Model Takaful contract can also be devised using the Mudarabah model. In Malaysia, Takaful Malaysia and Takaful Nasional use this model for their cooperation. Next point is discussion of the legal principle. Mudarabah is not validated by explicit text of the Quran. It is verified by Sunnah and scholarly consensus ijma', and more interestingly, on the practical grounds of its economic function in society. It is unanimously agreed by jurists that the legal validity of Mudarabah contract is derived from the traditional practice of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. According to Ibn Ishaq, the Prophet himself, prior to his prophethood, had acted as an agent manager in Mudarabah contract, which investment provided by the Prophet wife, that is Siti Khadijah. Cases of Mudarabah. Malayan Banking Berhad v. Yaakob Oje and Arnold. It is tried that the BBA concept is valid and is now widely used. I have dealt with the concept and validity of BBA principle to some extent in my judgment in Malayan Banking Berhad v. Yaakob Oje and Arnold. A relevant part of the judgment read is provided below. Whether BBA is valid or invalid depends on the nature of the instruments. However, the concept of BBA is now being widely accepted, provided it does not infringe on the rule against riba. The Pakistan Supreme Court, in the historic judgment on interest stated above, has held that Murabaha and OBBA transactions sell by deferred payment, when used as a mode of trade financing, is a borderline transaction with interest-bearing loan. The court stated that unless the basis requirements for its legal validity under the Sharia are strictly complied with, it might amount to interest-bearing loan. Further, the Supreme Court took the view that the Murabaha and OBBA concept is susceptible to misuse and is not an ideal financing system, and should only be used where musyarakah and mudarabah, a concept of financing, partnership or equity financing, are not applicable. Our courts here have not ventured into the validity of such instruments in detail, as was done in Pakistan. Finally, conclusion. Mudaraba is a solely Sharia-based transaction. The classical application of the Mudarabah contract has been extended to cover various business. Practicing Mudarabah more difficult compared to Musyarakah, since in Mudarabah bank does not have any involvement in venture, and the management will be left solely to the Mudarib. That's all from me. I hope uh, the discussion, the topic that have been discussed can give benefit to you. Lastly, thanks from me.